Hey, it's Yuri and welcome to this video in which I want to take you through a controversial piece of advice as it pertains to exercise and losing fat. I'm going to tell you in this video why doing very little or doing too much can almost have the exact same impact on sabotaging your weight loss efforts. And I'm going to show you a smarter way of living that is much more natural and probably more enjoyable as well. So the first thing to think about is that according to a Vanderbilt University study in 2008, they found that they surveyed about 6,300 people, they found that the average time we're spending sitting of our waking hours is 55%. So 55% of every hour you spend awake is spent sitting. And I would actually venture to say that that's probably on the low side. So that's pretty shocking. Now, the American Cancer Society has also found that men and women who sit more than 6 hours a day are 48% and 94% respectively likelier to die sooner than their counterparts who sit less than 3 hours a day. And going back to that Vanderbilt study, they had a follow-up which also showed that even if you exercise 30 minutes per day, that exercise in those 30 minutes did not counteract the 7 or 8 hours of sitting most people are spending a day doing. So if you think that you can work 9 to 5 and then go for a quick intense workout, it's really not doing you any favors. So the whole idea here is to think about, well, if what we're doing isn't working, what else should we do? What else should we be doing? Well, the alternative is you could kill yourself in the gym. You could be doing programs like those you see on TV, 6-7 days a week, insane, intense workouts, 90 minutes at a time, go, go, go. If it doesn't hurt, it's not helping, sweat away the fat, all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, those programs will produce results. However, you cannot sustain that type of intensity. Believe me. Remember, I played professional soccer, right? So I can tell you from firsthand experience, as well as knowing many other pro athletes, and just observing, you probably know this too. Most athletes, professional athletes, do not last past 35 years old. Why? Because it just destroys the body, right? Too much training over time just kills you. One of the reasons for that is, there's a lot of oxidative stress, a lot of damage at the cellular level, but let's bring this back to fat loss for a second. Over the course of a bunch of these videos I've done, I've talked about the immune response and inflammation leading to cortisol, and cortisol leading to belly fat gain. Well, that same process occurs with overtraining. So if you train too much, exercise too often, the pursuit of leanness can actually backfire and make it difficult for you to lose weight because of this increased cortisol response. Remember, exercise is a form of stress, and chronically you're going to be getting elevated cortisol levels, and that is going to favor deposition of fat in your belly region. So not a good thing. So, think about exercise. It's necessary, right? But we have too little and too much. Apparently I can't spell today, so that should say too much. So like with the hormones in our body, it's not about it's not that cortisol is bad or insulin is bad, but when we have too little or too much, that's the problem. We need to find that happy medium, and that's exactly what you need to be doing with exercise. So I actually want to tell you in this video that your workouts should not be the main form of your exercise. If you are using workouts like gym time as your form of movement, I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to have a very tough time maintaining that and maintaining a healthy, strong, fit, and lean body for the rest of your life. Hey, you might be saying, hey, you're full of crap because I worked out, I'm in great shape. Awesome, keep doing that. I'm telling you though, there will come a day where your body will break down. And when it does, you better have a backup plan. Because if you don't have any other mode of movement other than lifting weights in the gym, you're going to hit a wall, and your body will hit a wall as well. So what I'd like to introduce to you here is a concept I call micro movements. Okay? These micro movements should create the bulk of what you do exercise-wise. Now I'm talking about micro movements. You can also just think about it as being just moving your body, okay? So micro movements might be things like taking the stairs. I mean, I live in a house that has, I should actually count the stairs. It's a good number of stairs from bottom to top. And I don't see that as a negative, like, oh, I want a bungalow. It's a positive. Actually, when we were selling our old house, we had a lot of difficulty selling it because a lot of the people looking at the house were, in the baby boomer and older range. And because it was a split level, they didn't want it. And I was like, are you guys crazy? 4 stairs up and down is too much for you? That should be a friggin' blessing, right? And if you're watching this and you're 20 or 50 or wherever you are, consider stairs as the savior from the heavens. Because there will come a day where you're not able to do those stairs and you're really gonna regret that. And losing that ability to be able to walk upstairs. So use the things like stairs instead of the escalators, right? Take the stairs instead of the elevator, right? So simple things like this, these micro movements where you are simply active a little bit more throughout the day are going to make a big difference in your ability to just stay lean and strong. How about standing? How's that for a micro movement? Standing instead of sitting. We talked about sitting, and it's really not counteracted by 30 minutes of exercise. So instead of sitting all day, what if you just spent, instead of 6 hours sitting, 3 hours sitting, and the other 3 hours you spent standing, working at like a bar stool or a bar table or a standing desk? This is so important that I actually, in my office, I have and I'll probably do a tour of my office at some point for you, a standing desk that I had custom made, which you don't have to do. There's obviously, you can get them at IKEA now, but a standing desk, and we have a seated one. So if I'm tired of sitting, I'll just stand, and if I'm tired of standing, I'll sit down. So some really simple things. And the benefit of standing, think about it like this. When you sit, your heart gets lazy. Remember, because your heart is here, and if I'm standing, I'm 6'1", right? So if I'm sitting down, the distance my heart has to pump blood from the floor to my heart is greatly diminished if you're sitting as well. As soon as you stand, you're now lengthened, you're tall, right? You're kind of your full height. And now your heart has to pump that much harder to get blood from the floor to your head. Just that alone that's a game changer. If you spent half the time sitting and half the time standing, your heart is working harder when you stand. So if you just did nothing but stand and maybe just kind of like move around a little bit, but in a standing position, you're forcing your heart to work harder. And that's a great thing. At the same time, you're also forcing your muscles to stabilize your body and do these small little micro movements, these small little adjustments to work on your balance, your posture, and stuff like that. All of this stuff, all of these little micro movements add up. And over time, again, it's not gonna happen overnight, but you do this for a couple months and it just becomes your lifestyle, it makes a huge difference. How about walking every single day? Every single day you should be walking at a minimum of 30 minutes. Like walking is like oxygen, you just breathe, you have to do it, okay? So walking. How about stuff like body weight squats? When you first get out of bed in the morning, how about doing 10 body weight squats? Just up and down, just get your body moving. Or how about before you eat, doing some body weight squats, or maybe doing 10 push-ups? Why would you want to do that? Well, maybe if you're at a restaurant, not a good idea. You could if you want to. However, if you exercise or you just even prime your muscles before you eat, what that does is it primes them to take those nutrients in. So instead of those nutrients getting stored as fat, your muscles are actually kind of like craving nutrients. That's the most receptive time they have to take in nutrients. That's why in general, your biggest meal should come after your most active point of the day. So after a big workout, for instance. But simple little things like body weight squats or push-ups or just doing some type of static, right? contracting all your muscles like that, and then release, you're gonna generate heat. Your body, your muscles are gonna be craving nutrients now. Do a couple seconds of that before your next meal. And little things like that can make a big difference over time. So what I'm getting at here is using activity as your form of exercise, using play as your form of workouts. If you enjoy playing ultimate frisbee, or if you want to play tennis, or if you want to just walk, or if you want to, whatever it is, whatever you enjoy doing most is the most important thing. Yes, there is a time, right? Yes, there is a time for the intense stuff. And yes, you should be doing that. You should be strengthening your muscles. You should be pushing your heart and cardiovascular system to close to its limit, but in small doses. And that's really what I've specialized in doing for 20 years now almost. You only need about 3, maybe 4 workouts a week, and that's pretty much it. If you're doing more than that, you're gonna eventually burn your body out. So again, it's slightly controversial advice, but this is the stuff that is gonna lead to long-term fat loss because it's doing stuff that you enjoy doing. And it's doing stuff that is feasible and doable, and it doesn't require a gym membership. It just requires a little bit of diligence to say, you know what? I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna move my body, I'm gonna stand up a little bit more today, I'm gonna walk a little bit more, I'm gonna go outside and play with my kids, I'm gonna lift them up, I'm gonna do some shoulder presses with my baby. Just ways of staying active instead of having to condemn yourself to the gym. The gym is important if you want to go to the gym, but you can do stuff at home as well. So anyways, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section. You can join me over at the blog as well. And don't forget, if you actually want a proven system to burn fat and keep it off, then grab a copy of my upcoming book, The All-Day Fat Burning Diet. When you do so, I'm also going to be giving you $116 worth of bonuses, absolutely free, to help you burn fat even faster and keep it off, including a number of really cool workouts that are going to kind of take all this stuff we're talking and put it into play to help you train smarter, not harder, so you can actually burn fat and keep it off. Once again, the book comes out in December. It's called The All-Day Fat Burning Diet, and it's all about helping reset your metabolism to help you lose up to 5 pounds per week. So if that's of interest to you, check it out. The link for that is below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Talk to you soon.